Hi, my name is Zach, my partners are Darren and Hoon, and today we will be bringing you Captain America Civil War Symbolic Scenes. Miss Torres, AP Lit, 5th Hour.
Of September, when grass was green. Wake up, dear, and say goodbye to your father.
Who's the homeless person on the couch?
This is why I love coming home for Christmas, right before you leave town.
Be nice, dear. He's been studying abroad.
Really? Which broad? What's her name?
Candace.
Do me a favor. Try not to burn the house down before Monday.
Okay, so it's Monday. That is good to know. I will plan my toga party accordingly. Where are you going?
Your father's flying us to the Bahamas for a little getaway.
We might have to make a quick stop.
At the Pentagon, right? Don't worry, you're gonna love the holiday menu with the commissary.
You know, they say sarcasm is a metric for potential. If that's true, you'll be a great man someday. I'll get the bags.
He does miss you when you're not here. And frankly, you're going to miss us. Because this is the last time we're all going to be together.
In this scene, we find Tony Stark using a therapeutic experiment to cope with his parents' death. His parents, we find out, were killed around the winter time. Winter can always be associated with death. We also find out later in this film that Tony Stark's parents were killed by the Winter Soldier. The Winter Soldier is not only Captain America's best friend. When he is controlled by Hydra, we can associate him as the Death Soldier. If we go back to Tony Stark's mother at the beginning of the scene, she is playing the piano and singing a song, A Time to Remember. A time to remember when things were better, things were happier, when all of the family was together. We also look at the scenery behind her. We see that it is light, airy, and bright, preparing them not only for the trip they're about to leave on, but the trip that they're about to take, an eternal one such as heaven. It symbolizes the difference between death and life.
Are you going up?
I'm right where I want to be.
Okay, hey. Sorry, it's occupational hazard.
I work for the State Department. Human Resources. I know it's boring, but it enabled me to raise a son. I'm very proud of what he grew up to be. His name was Charlie Spencer. You murdered him in Sokovia. Not that that matters in the least to you. You think you fight for us? You just fight for yourself. Who's going to avenge my son, Stark? He's dead, and I blame you.
In the hallway scene, the hallway itself represents what Tony is right now. Dark, gloomy, and maybe a little depressed due to the actions that the Avengers have caused in recent months, years, depending on what the movie's time is really. Even with all that emotion down, Tony is not getting a break. With this scene with the mother, metaphorically, shooting Tony through the heart. When I mean metaphorically, the picture is slapped onto his heart. Basically, shooting him through with guilt, as if he doesn't have that already. The mother also is bringing Tony down to earth in a way. From Iron Man soaring through the skies to Tony Stark realizing all the actions and things that the Avengers have done, honestly. And she's trying to remember that even though they have good intentions paved, they just have to remember that as humans, or somewhat human really, they also affect the world as it is right now.
Secretary Ross has a Congressional Medal of Honor, which is one more than you have.
So let's say we agree to this thing. How long is it going to be before they LoJack us like a bunch of common criminals?
117 countries want to sign this. 117, Sam, and you're just like, no, it's cool, we got
How
it.
long are you going to play both sides?
I have an equation.
Oh, this will clear it up.
In the 8 years since Mr. Stark announced himself as Iron Man, the number of known enhanced persons has grown exponentially. And during the same period, the number of potentially world-ending events has risen at a commensurate rate.
He's saying it's our fault?
I'm saying there may be a causality. Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. And conflict breeds catastrophe. Oversight. Oversight is not an idea that can be dismissed out of hand.
Boom.
Tony.
Okay, so at the start of the scene, it has Falcon and War Machine standing on either side of Steve Rogers. He is dead center in the frame, showing that he's stuck in between both sides of the Accords. War Machine represents the affirmative side, which is to have government control to help prevent any other catastrophic events, while Falcon, on the other side, shows that the Avengers should continue to have control so they can act and react to any problems or issues that come up, until Vision comes with his own perspective, which is that, in layman's terms, that no matter how much good the Avengers have brought, there will always be evil. So the entire team of the Avengers have brought so many world catastrophes, and kind of like a yin and yang. See, here the Avengers, they've brought this much good, but what they leave behind is this little black dot of bad, which is all destruction and deaths. Here is the evil, like Ultron and Loki, but they've had fairly moral intentions behind their evil actions.